Evening, everybody. So I was going to do a little recap about some of the past events that we've done here. So I'm going to talk a little bit about digital manufacturing and so far our journey in Romania, which is quite short at the moment, but with a long way to go. So those are some of the things I want to talk about. I've gone the wrong way now. And Bill asked me to keep it serious. So the ICT, why we're here. 5 years ago when I spoke to Bill about doing this, he told me we're here to learn something and also keep it relevant. We haven't done that. We've had belly dancers, we've had rock bands, tonight we've got a quartet. But we spoke about what the event was for, and we said that if we keep it relevant and we keep it memorable, people will learn something. There should be something to take away. Some of my staff go up and down the country to these events, they make some notes, bring them back, put them on their desk. 2 weeks later, they've moved them to the shelf. 3 weeks later, they put them in the bin, and nothing gets done with it. You know, we've been listening to papers here from people like Peter Cobley talking about ultrasonics, talking about improvements to processes. We've had Stuart Hayton here talking about disruptive technology. We've got lots and lots of, who's using crab shells yet? Nobody's using crab shells yet. So there's lots and lots of papers given here that nobody does anything with. And I really encourage you to take away something from these events. Tonight you're going to hear some things that are really, really groundbreaking for our industry, and it will change our industry. So think about tonight and think about what you're going to do after tonight. Who should attend? Everybody in our industry. There are people here that are retiring. We need young people coming into these industries, and all of you people in the companies should be coming along and learning things. The value of networking. I've just asked you to all to move around. Right? This is a time when you can talk to people before they jump in their cars. When we get the last paper, when they're getting bored, when Peter's talking, when Colleen's talking, they're getting in their car. Grab them before they go. Find out what they're selling. Find out what new things are happening in our industry. There's an opportunity tonight to talk to people about the new things in the industry. So what do we remember? You okay, Grant? Do you want to take over? I'll let you sit down, Esther. Go on. Sorry. Go and sit there. Have that chair there.
No, you're right. Thank you.
So what do we remember? So we don't just host this event. Sorry, and I want to say thank you to Andre, actually, because our cash flow's a bit tight at the moment. And Andre's volunteered to joint sponsor this event, so the food tonight's on Andre. But, and the drink. And the drink. And the rooms, actually. Everything's on Andre tonight. But we've invested money in these events. We've had some good quality speakers come along, some motivational speakers. And I want to see who's remembering. Who can remember this guy? Anyone got his name?
Roger.
Peter Cook.
Peter Cook. Peter Cook came along. He is a world-renowned motivational speaker, psychologist. He's coaching the Virgin team, the Virgin Airlines team. You know, this guy is a guru, and we've had him in this building, and we should remember some of the things that he's taught us. This guy, who remembers him? You must remember him.
Dudley Moore.
Dudley Moore? Nigel Risner. In 2012, voted the world's top motivational speaker. He cost me $2,500 for 40 minutes here, right? And no one's remembered him. This book here has changed a lot of people's lives. About 15 years ago, Manfred Huschke gave me this book, and we've used it. I mean, Lee and I have bought hundreds of copies of these books and given them out to our staff. It's a 20-minute read, a fantastic book, and when life's a bit dull and things are not going right in your work or your home or whatever it is, read this book. It is very, very good, and it's actually, I've got one with me. Anyone want it? Don't put your fucking hand up, come and get it. No one remembered Nigel Risner. Nigel Risner held a book up and said, anybody want it? I fell for that trick 10 years ago when I went on a training course with Nigel. He held a book up, I said, yes please. And he just looked at me and killed me. Someone else from the audience went up and took it, and he said, and the salespeople, you should learn, when someone says, do you want the order? Don't leave it for the guy coming in behind you to come and get it. Right? Want this order? Come and get it. Right? Don't just say yes, please, because actually politeness doesn't always get you anywhere. So Bill reminded me about this because he sent me a link to the Who Moved My Cheese video this week. Who's this guy? Anyone remember? Daniel Jubb, 28 years old, rocket scientist. 2008, voted one of the leading rocket scientists in the world. No qualifications, not even a driving license. He came here on our evening which we entitled Young People Don't Lick Stamps. And we had young speakers here. Daniel Jubb was an amazing character. All of you listened to him very, very intently. A few of you remembered his names. And something else I learned that night as well. Young people don't lick stamps. Young people don't wear socks either, apparently, because Henry Coakley here criticised me. He said, I've got lovely shoes, but horrible socks. So tonight, I didn't wear any. Who's this? They're in the room. Right? And looking at the size of their bellies, they're near you. Anyone know who it is?
Pete and Andy.
That's it. Who's this? Stuart Hayton. Anyone remember Stuart Hayton? 4 years ago, he gave a fantastic speech at one of the ICT seminars. And he spoke about disruptive technology.
And then he jumped ship.
And then he jumped ship. But it went off with a bang. Like that. I'm giving you a warning here because this, to me, was one of the best presentations that have been given in the ICT in the last 4 years. Yes, he's jumped ship, he's gone off to pastures new, but he launched the Lunaris, or he made us all aware of the Lunaris. This machine. Inkjet technology, monster of a machine, 4 years in the 6 years in the making now. I've been following this now for the last 4 years, tried to help these guys with letters of intent. We are going to buy this machine. It is now a production item. Sadly, Stuart went, and you've got to deal with this dickhead. So Peter's here tonight, and this machine...
You don't have to be so rude.
This machine is, in my opinion, amazing. And I'm going to run through a few of my takes on this machine. And it isn't the Lunaris take. I didn't ask permission to do this tonight. I've tried to teach people that actually it's better to seek forgiveness than ask permission. So hopefully I don't upset Peter too much, but in my opinion, this machine is revolutionary. It is disruptive. They've got a patented process for the inkjet technology. It's got a roadmap to get down to 75 micron lines. Currently doing 100 micron lines, if I'm not mistaken, Peter.
Yes, that's it, yeah.
100 panels an hour on single-sided. Full integration of this machine is possible. I was talking to Peter about my plans for Romania. We were sitting at a conference in Berlin, and I said to Peter, we're going to do this, and we're going to buy this machine, and we're going to have the first digital factory. Peter very quickly, no he didn't, Peter told me that I wouldn't be the first, right? Which I didn't believe because I wanted to be the first. And he told me about a company in the US that have already bought 2 of these machines and are in production. A week later, I was on a plane with Peter looking at this machine. It is amazing. Guaranteed good panels. Every panel's AOI before it's etched. Brilliant process. Sends it back if it's no good, washes it off, reprints it, AOIs it. Clean process. Plugs into a 13-amp socket. Low electricity. Takes out 11 processes. You're talking about cam to etch in about 4 or 5 minutes. It's brilliant. No waste. So the factory in America, it was set up just under a year ago, or started to be set up just under a year ago, been in production now for about 6 months. These are some images that I've taken and haven't asked permission to use. So here is the Lunaris here in a print process, heading down towards the tin plate line. Here it is here, coming off, ready for primary imaging. Solder mask, part of the line. Nice clean factory, no smells. This factory is actually using less water than the toilets. Fully integrated. The Lunaris is a key part of this factory. This is a $10 million build, this factory, producing 500 panels an hour, all good, 24 by 21 panels. 17 people. This is a video that Peter sent me, which I'm sure he wouldn't mind sharing with you if you go to that address. It'll be on the presentation that Bill gives out. So for me, that in the last 4 years, if I look at the ICT and the takeaway values, this has been on my mind for 4 years. And I'm hoping now that we can have the dream and have the digital factory in Romania using the Lunaris. I'm going to get commission, aren't I?
Would you like this?
So for me, when I saw this, it created a warning. A big warning for all of us. It created a really big warning, Lee. The cameraman was asleep. Oh yeah, we'd have a seat. So for me, the Lunaris has sent a warning shot now. And if you read the Who Moved My Cheese book, someone's going to be thinking that their cheese has been moved. Because the company that have bought the Lunaris and are setting up the Lunaris were a PCB customer. One of our customers, not one of Spirit's customers, but they were a customer. They're an OEM. They were spending $11 million a year on PCBs from China, paying $75, $100 a square metre for them. They're now making them for $40 a square metre in their own factory. Clean, no smells, no environmental problems. For me, there's a warning shot here. Peter Coakley could leave here tonight, public enemy number one for us. Because if we don't embrace this technology, he'll sell it to our customers. And if you've got a customer that's spending 10 million, 8 million, the return on investment is very, very quick with these processes. Integrated, clean, everyone's going to want it. For me, there's a bit of a history book thing here. If you look at the industry where a lot of the guys in this room came from, PCB shops started in a captive shop. I gave a presentation about this about 4 years ago. The captive shops with all of the engineers. Then we created the pioneers, and then the Mavericks all came out and thought they could do it better. We could be seeing history repeat itself here, and I think the PCBs could go back to a captive environment with digital and clean technology. So that's my warning. There's no more, Lee. You can go to sleep again now. So now I'm going to switch to Romania and talk about Romania. Most people in the room here have heard us talk about Romania and our thoughts and what we want to do in Romania. We weren't setting off to go in Romania, we were just looking at Eastern Europe. We've settled on Romania. To some extent, I've fallen in love with Romania. It's been a fantastic journey so far. We've had no barriers. We've had lots of help. Colleen Humer is going to give you a presentation at the end. Colleen has a company called Bridge. Colleen's working with the Hampshire Chamber of Commerce. We have had really, really good support going in Romania. Yes, you can hear lots of stories, you will have seen lots of TV programs, but we haven't experienced any of that, and we've been a year in due diligence, and we've been a year getting to where we are today, which isn't very far. We've got a piece of land. That's it. So we've still got a long way to go. We've purchased a piece of land in Dolge County in a town called Craiova. We've now rented an interim facility while we build our own factory, and we'll be in production Q1 next year, making single-sided boards. The reason we're doing this, as many of you know, we work in the LED industry. A lot of our customers want LED boards. They want them cheap and they want them quickly. China isn't as cheap as it was. To get single-sided boards over from China, a big percentage of the price, of the cost, is the freight. And if you bring it by sea, you're losing your agility. So for us, this is a single-sided factory in a low-cost country. And it's not just about the labour. It's about the whole infrastructure. The cost of the land's cheaper, the rents and the rates for the factory are cheaper, the taxation's cheaper. I'm going to steal Colleen's paper if I'm not careful. So yeah, there's more. It's more than just labour. The whole infrastructure and the support structure is why we've chosen Romania. And the logistics. Some of our bigger customers are in Germany, Austria, and the Czech Republic. So logistics work really well for us to work in Romania. The new factory will be operational in 2017, and in the interim period we've signed a memorandum of understanding with the Craiova University, and we're going to train people in PCB technology. Some of them will be trained here. We will run training programs in the university over in Craiova as well. And we're doing it with some European funding. So those who don't know where Craiova is, there it is there with the red dot. This is the land that we've purchased. It's just some trees at the moment on the side of an airport. And it does have its own airport, which is shut at the moment, but opening again soon. This is after signing all of the paperwork, which was intense. 10 hours signing over 300 signatures that were countersigned by about 7 government people as well. It was a long day just to buy a piece of land. And I'm assured I've got many more long days like this ahead of me. What you ask? That's thank you. That's me finished. Thank you very much.